right, all right, all right. Let's get this thing started, right? It's this button over here, isn't it? And that's the thing. There it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is May 17th, 2024. We're going to write a little bit of code today. My goodness, chat is already hopping. Popping off, popping and hopping, hopping and popping. Is that a thing? Can you tell I'm old? Wow. I didn't even remember to get YouTube up and running over here so I can keep an eye on the tube of all yous over here. Hello. Let me say hello. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Good morning, chat room. And already, there's so much going on. Look at this. Napalm, happy time zone to you. C Sharp Titan, hope you're doing well and feeling better, home and safe. To you in Australia, have a good evening there. Robert Steffen, hello. Great to see you. Apollo, good morning to you. Happy Friday. And Sinclairinator with the 5 gift subs. Woohoo! Thank you so much. 2 nerdy nerds, Swifty Spiffy, Totole 654, Loudon Carol, and tearing it up. Congratulations. You got gift subscriptions from our friend Sinclairinator, and I'll make donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital at the end of the month. If you'd like to make a donation, part of our drive, and troll me a bit, every donation over $5, I'll post a thank you on my blog. There's a page there, big thanks for charity, and there's other things that we're going to be doing. I have a lunch meeting today, so I can't do it today, but I do have on the schedule, we're going to do it early next week. We're going to do a Hot One style chicken wing eating and tech discussion broadcast next week. I think we're going to do it Monday. I think it's going to be Monday. I need to confirm one final bit, but it looks like it's going to be Monday. We're going to be inviting Mr. Carl Franklin to be joining us for a co-stream. He's going to be joining us. We'll talk about Blazor. It won't be next week because next week is build, but the following week we're going to have him join us. And we are just a short $90 donation, $90 of donations from a Rainbow Beard stream. And at $1,500, we're going to invite our friend Mr. Richard Campbell to join us to talk all things tech. Always great to talk to him. And then, of course, when I bring guests on, it's AMA style. We talk to you, chat. We don't have our agenda. We talk to the chat room. So that's coming up, and when we get to $2,000 raised, is it 2,000? I forget what the milestone is. I'm forgetting my milestones. When we get to $2,000, we're going to do a Meet the Fritz Horses stream, and when we hit $2,500 total raised for St. Jude, Scott Hanselman will join us for a stream. So, pretty cool stuff to have a couple guest speakers joining us. So all you got to do is support the kids at St. Jude. If you make a donation using my link that you see in chat, you can use this QR code down here to get there. If you make a donation through that, it's tax deductible, and there's click-through items there for an employer match. So if your employer matches charitable donations, they've got all the paperwork, all the stuff there so that you can click through and immediately request that match and double your donation to a fantastic charity that helps kids with cancer, kids with terrible diseases, the folks at St. Jude. So thank you so much to everybody who's donated at this point and gotten us out to $1,160. Happy Friday, Sinclair. Thank you so much for those gift subs. Chris Jones, good afternoon to you. How's it going there? Robson Previato. Long time no see. Yeah. No, Big Bad Wharf. No. You'll be at UP. You'll be at University Park. Nothing wrong with that. Let's let me get some music playing. We'll talk about where we left off and how I screwed up yesterday. Can we talk about that? Because when I did find what was wrong, oh man, I wanted to I was not happy. I need to be more kind. That's the name of this song. This is music from Stream Beats. This is a playlist. There you go. Take a look at the hat. It knows this hat. It knows this hat. I know it knows this hat. This was one of the first hats we trained it on. And ran into an error. Yeah, did it? Do that one more time.
Now we know.
There you
And
go.
knowing is half the battle.
And Nick Fury hiding under the brim. Anyways, so previously, I was going through and setting up the aspirify.net website so that I can log in and work on the distributed site, right? For proof of concept and getting it out the door, for minimum viable and getting it out the door, I didn't deploy any authentication capabilities to the website. So I need that as a sound effect, Apollo. So it was time for me to go and add those features, right? It's clearly an admin site that I can lock down and say, you're not allowed access to this unless you are an admin. And what I had done is quite literally block anybody from accessing it if you weren't running in development mode. Like, can't get to it. And since it distributes in release mode, you can't see anything. So, like, it's kind of swinging a sledgehammer to get it to work, but it works. So we're starting to add the authentication and authorization capabilities into this. And the first feature, of course, to add is, how do we get our first user? I don't want to have passwords for this website. I'm a big fan of I don't want to manage passwords for my websites. I want to hook up and let someone else who knows how to manage passwords manage those passwords, and I just store a key. I just store a key, and I rely on somebody else managing that. So we started going through, and I added the ability to generate an invite code, generate a login link, and let's create that first admin user and write it into the console. We've seen this in a number of other applications. So you can click the link and it, boom, takes you out, logs you in, and says, okay, what service do you actually want to log in with when you use the website? And for right now, I just set up a Microsoft account, click it, and it should take you through the login process. And it wasn't. Let me show you where I made my mistake. And when you see what it is, you're going to go, yeah, I could have made that mistake too. Because I didn't just make one mistake, I made two mistakes. Yeah. So, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to... Say it again. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut. Something like that. How you doing there, John? Good morning. Are you the only one that read that with Nick's voice in your head? Right. Would there ever be a case to disable authentication as a configuration option for when you want to run an app internally? Well, when you're running an app internally, you may want to actually have a different set of authentication for that. I could see perhaps a case where you may want to turn it off for testing purposes. But even then, you should probably be able to test and force a user that logs in or has certain authorization constraints so that you can see that those things are turned off and have those tests report back to you. This authorization isn't working properly. So yes and no. I could see situations where you not so much want to turn it off, but shift it so it uses another provider where you don't have to so much log in, but you can force it for testing purposes to take whatever role whatever claims it is that you want to demand for testing purposes. Internally, I still wouldn't shut it off. I would consider shifting to a different provider, like an internal enterprise provider. So yeah, and right, in the name of speed, I turned off authentication entirely, and more or less shifted it to, well, if you're not in development mode, right? I turned my authentication to, you must be a developer to do this and not in release mode. And since deployment turns on release mode, save the day. Works just fine out there. I need more Samuel Jackson quotes, and I think I need to make some of these sound effects stuff that you can play, chat room, because I have banks and banks of sound effects here, and there are some streams where I just don't hit them at all.
60% of the time, it works every time.
See, you didn't even hear that one. Why isn't that one playing? Like, yeah, this... Wait a sec. What? Why am I on mute? Really? How did that go on mute? What? Hang on. What happened to my sound settings? What did you do, Windows? What did you do? That's better. Snakes on a Plane. Yes. Except I would get the badly hacked TV version. With these monkey fighting Monday to Friday snakes. Because I do try to stay safe for work. And let's face it, it's a bigger goof, Sam Jackson, not saying the MF word. I have no idea how that muted, but hey, that's a thing. All right, so we got music playing, we got this, I wanted to show you where I left off and broke things. Oh, did I break things? Oh, did I break things? Hang on. Let's get over to the code. Let me show you. Because, man, there are times when you want to, where you look at old code that you wrote and go, what the heck was I thinking? And then there's times where you look at code that you wrote yesterday and you go, who the hell wrote that? Because who the hell wrote this? I have this code on the invite landing page that when you connect in, if you don't have a token, if you are not authenticated, and I need to iron this out, go find who you are and make sure that the token that you submitted is valid. Okay. And then let's go sign in. And there's some buttons up here on the page for anti-forgery using a standard HTML form. We've got the anti-forgery token. We've got a minimal API endpoint that puts out, here's a list of the buttons for all the different providers that we have. Good. Get it working. Make it look good. Get it working. Make it fast. Make it look good. Right? Our friend Robert Tables reminds us of that a lot. Hey, Luce. Good afternoon. Great to see you. That's our friend Luce Carter. So we kept running into problems where this thing would post, and I kept getting a 400 error trying to get to this, and it would say things like the form, right? The form is invalid. You must have a name for this form, and we don't have this. And I don't get it. Why is that happening? Two things. Over here in Program CS, when we set up our pipeline, our HTML pipeline, there's a couple things that are going on in here, right? So the first half of this file, man, I want to draw a line here. Right there. I want to draw a line here because this is just awful to read. configure the pipeline. Because I've got so many things that are commented and moved around and whatnot. Like, okay. So there's try and set up repository and make sure we initialize all of our connection stuff. And then there's if we're in development mode. See this bit right here. Here's the first error that I had. It was sitting down here. So if there was any kind of an error, it would redirect to the error page. Don't do that when you're in development because you won't see your error codes. I wasn't seeing that I was getting a 404. I was getting a 404. Because down here, I didn't actually call the method that set up my minimal API endpoints. So here I'm going through, and I've set up this minimal API right here. Link invite login to go and set up all the connections to your Microsoft account, your GitHub account, your Twitter account, your Google account. And this was never executing. And I kept looking at it, I'm like, why isn't that executing? Why isn't that executing? You know why it isn't executing? Because you forgot to call it.
Mr. Blutarski.
Right here.
0.0.
I failed you, chat room, and I apologize. I apologize. I wasted so much time yesterday trying to fight this and debug it and look at what's going on and tinker with it and see what it was. No! I forgot to map the additional endpoints. Oh. That hurt. That hurt so bad. The good news is it now works. I show you. So, this is the, like I was saying, this is the Aspirify.net News Hub website that I built and I've been tweaking and tinkering with here. And folks have asked, hey, is the source code for this available? The source code isn't itself directly available. However, what we're learning from this is being added to the Big Bad Blog demo that I'm doing on Wednesdays on the Visual Studio channel on Twitch, on the .NET channel on YouTube. Same time, same AMA discussion with me, but I've actually got a script to follow, and all the code is available. And I've got pros written up that you can follow and go through here. Yeah, I know that doesn't exist. That's okay. Because, yep. It scaffolded here. Now, our friend David Fowler, really? Our friend David Fowler wrote an extension for Aspire that allows you to wait for other services. I feel like I should bring that in for exactly this reason. Don't start the website, don't start the thumbnail service until the migration service finishes running. However, I suspect that he's adding it to Aspire. I suspect. So while I could write this, like bring over his sample code, this is like one-time startup stuff for getting the security database running. No? Really? Go ahead and finish running that. What's going on here in the migration script? There it is. So it went and created all the tables and things, right? But they're... The actual creation and existence of the security and the tables out there should be done ahead of time. And going forward, that migration service should update my system for me before we actually dive in and start working with things. So here it comes. Now it'll be running properly. So there's my data migration script right there. And down here, the website runs. And if I take a look, where's my create user message there? If we take a look here, right, everything's created and sitting out there properly. Go ahead. It found this hat earlier. It found this hat earlier. Wow. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Why am I getting that? No, no, no. No. This literally worked just a little bit ago. Yeah, that ignored. Well, no, it actually ran that time. Take the picture, ship it. I think I'm getting in some bad behavior coming back from OBS.
Now we know.
There it is.
And knowing is half the battle.
So what this should be doing is it should drop a message. Yeah, the user's created. It's back over here. No, not that one. This one. It should be trying to delete them. It should go through because I'm in debug mode and delete all the users. Run that again. Run that one more time. Let's make sure that works. Value came back. I don't know. You should always have a result. So, fantastic. Here we go. So in debug mode, I want it to clear out the users so that it lets me log in right now because I'm building the feature, right? There it is. Here we go. We should have some users listed there. Yes. Show me the users. What? No, there's no users there. Okay. If there are any, nope. So there we go. Create a new user. Yes. So it should create that user and write out the message that, hey, I got a new user for you. There it is. So now I can click and I've got a login link and there we go. Yeah, we're going to need this part of the website. So I'm going to clean up this part of the website so that it's a little bit nicer, a little bit friendlier. Hey, welcome, new user to Aspirify. Let's add another service to log in. So I want to log in with my Microsoft account, and it's going to route me over to Microsoft Sign-In. And I'm going to put my email in there, and it's going to route me back to the website. And now I have a user, don't I? Right? Now I have a user. And it has all my information already. Cool. And I can route over, and now I'm logged in. So what I want to do... Now the store's talking to the DB. We're good. So what I want to do, right? So that first user that was created has the admin role. Now it can start cleaning up my admin access and also allow you to manage your profile out here. I don't really need you to manage your profile. I mean, I guess I do. I guess. So I'm going to start adding and tuning the authentication bits here because critically, I don't want you to be able to do anything with a password because I don't want you logging in with a password. I need a login page that doesn't allow you to key in a password, but lets you choose. Here's my login service to allow me to log in, and then route you back into the app. If services one project might depend on are still loading, How would you detect it? Error handling, how would you handle it? I got you. Conveniently, there's an article on aspirify.net about it. And it's in the sample code. So waiting for dependencies in .NET Aspire. Shows you how to extend .NET Aspire application model to enable waiting for dependencies to be available before starting the application. So David wrote this last week. Shows how to extend the .NET Aspire application model to enable waiting for dependencies to be available before starting the application. So he's adding SQL Server with a health check, adding RabbitMQ with a health check, console project. Now, here's the web project, and he says, here's the references to these things. Wait for these to start, and wait for the console application to complete. So the wait for completion in my scenario for Aspirify.net, I want that bit. Right? I'll zoom in a little bit more. I want that bit so that it doesn't, right? So that it does the health checks to see what's the state of the database migration script. And the database migration script should be waiting for the database. So database is running, run the migration script. Okay, now the website can run. And the migration script, when there's no migrations to run, should return in split seconds, right? If I go back over to the dashboard and we look in here at the logs for, right, here's the migration service, right? 946.42, and it finished at 946.43. So about a second it took to verify no migrations to apply. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. Because for the most part, when this website is running live in production, it's not restarting and going through that full cycle, right? So, now, the questions that I have about this are, this is great when we're in development. When we orchestrate and deploy, these things like these wait for statements, do they run in production? When we restart the system, do they know how to do those health checks? That's not clear to me. Robson asks, well, wait a sec, shouldn't database migration run during the GitHub deploy? Yes, and they would run in this scenario, right? The migration scripts would run. They do run in this current scenario, right? We'll see when we deploy this a little bit later. I've only got about another hour to write code here and work on some things. Should I try and bring over? So, major refactor. What did he do over here? Where's the wait for? It's this. Yeah. So he's got all these things to do: health check on SQL, health check on Redis. So, hey, Bondi Bon, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. So, like, I would love for this to be a NuGet package that we could bring in. There is a pull request here. Add example unit test to the project. That's not bad. Yeah, I already looked at these. I would love to have one in here for Postgres, to check a Postgres resource. But I have a feeling he's adding, yeah, he's added hooks out to each one of those types of hosted services. Each one of those features. This is a .NET SDK. Okay. I mean, I could add this into my stack here. It would help when I deploy. Hey, Billy. Hello. And the approach is pretty sound, what he's doing here. Right? Health check annotation, an annotation that associates a health check factory with a resource. And, oh, there's Postgres right there. Gosh. Right, with health check, so that inside app host, there's SQL Server, but it could be Postgres and say with health check, so that we can do the wait for further down. I could bring over some of these, just copy it in. How do you pronounce that? B Mosquito. Hello. Welcome. Let me copy these in. And then we'll wire up some of that, some of the capabilities for the authentication and authorization, which are going to be standard ASP.NET Core types of things. And I'm going to remove any kind of registration and login that takes a password. I'm going to completely delete those functions. So this is kind of a maintenance thing, right? Let's not call it maintenance. Let's call it infrastructure. Yeah, maintenance is fine, I guess. Sure. Right? So I'm going to add new project. This is going to be a class library. I'd like a class library. I'd like a class library. I'd like a class library. Thank you! Aspirify, let's call this app host extensions. Right? Those project version references are preview. Yes. Well, they're preview because the framework is preview. So the templates should be cached out there. They should be cached. So the first one that I want to bring in, right, is the health check annotations. Right. Hang on. Before I do anything. David. It says they're examples. I'm going to assume, knowing David, he's a friend. I'm going to assume that these are available to copy. So I need to, there's a reference or two there that I need to bring into the project. I'm not reselling this. I'm not packaging this. But I need the Redis. I need Postgres. Item group. And I'm going to change these. I've been using a preview star version so that it'll slide forward with each of the previews. When Aspire goes to final, I'll replace it with 80.star so that I get the minor releases with each publication. I'm also going to need NPG, Redis, and URIs. Yeah. I'll remove. I don't have Rabbit. I don't have SQL. Sure. I can take those versions. Back over here, I'll rename this file. Don't mind if I do. It's important to keep the namespace aspire.hosting because there further down the stack in here, there's extension methods. Okay, so I got the health check notifications. I don't need HTTP endpoint. Postgres, yes, I want that one because I do have Postgres. I don't care because I'm just going to rename it. Okay. Like, I think this is a really cool technique he has, and I hope it gets turned into a package here. So Redis, sure, give me the Redis stuff. Thank you. Just gonna go down here, remove these couple things out here, control dots, move it over. Next. I don't have SQL, don't have that. Wait for dependencies extensions. Here we go. And here's, yep, the extension methods. Wait for completion, add wait for dependencies. Yes. Give me all that stuff. And I'm just going to paste it in up to the top here, up to the top of this John. I'm going to yank all of that and move you to another file. I love being able to refactor quickly like that. So let's just make sure. I don't see any red in here. Build real quick. So this is a maintenance piece. This is a infrastructure management piece that we're copying. That looks good. So now I should be able to go into app host, right? The entry point for the service. I'm going to add a reference over to what? Themed button through an exception. Okay. I'll do it myself. Go ahead. Not quite. What did I call it? App host extensions. .cs proj. There we go. Continuing. So then inside my program? Yes, program. So there's add Redis. I tried moving this so that I could point it to another cache instead. Let's check something real quick. Winget search AZD. No. Yeah, Microsoft AZD. 19300. There we go. There we go. Winget AZD. Winget update AZD. Right? Go get me the latest version of that and update it. There, it's installing. I think I need to do that in an admin window. Do that again. Hello?
PowerShell_freak just resubscribed for 53 months.
53 months. Are you kidding? Thank you so much, PowerShell Freak, for 53 months with us. And at the end of the month, I'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Winget update AZD. There we go. Your JetBrains Writer subscription expired. You're using Visual Studio full time. Visual Studio is awesome and has everything Writer had, and it's free. Community Edition is free. Yes. There's a known issue with Winget. I may have to... No, that worked. That worked. So, I feel good about that. There was an issue with it about a week ago. Totally there was. And it was very much broken. And now it looks like it's fixed. There we go. All right. So there is a new here. All right. Yeah. We can see how many people are on aspirify.net right now. Yay, look at that. There's 2 people. Somebody in Portugal and somebody in the United States. I know who that person in the United States is. It's me. So, if you go to aspirify.net right now, you'll see a pin up here on the screen that is where you are, relatively speaking. Hey, Morgan on YouTube. It's so weird to watch your HTML webpage go into a database and then turn into an Active Directory on HTML page. Why is that weird? Why is that weird? Like, you're not used to working with Active Directory? That's right, Philly. You better believe it, Benjamin. Oh, yes, indeedy. I'm not going to mouse over it because it'll give my town name. But, yep. There's somebody in, I can't tell if that's West Virginia or, right? There's somebody in, Monongahela. I think that's West Virginia. Isn't that West Virginia? No, Pittsburgh. Just outside Pittsburgh. There we go. There we go, friends. Thank you. Thank you. Let me know. How's the website working for you? It'll take a few seconds to show up. So, you need to actually be active on the website. You can't, if you just drop in and navigate off. Ah, I see, Nalian. Napalm codes, yeah. You're going to put green peppers on your cheesesteak sandwich. How you doing there? Robert Tables. Green peppers on cheesesteak, not entirely a violation. Not entirely a violation. So, there, I see somebody in the Netherlands now. So, yeah. Like, and honestly, I don't look at your location on this as for anything other than consideration, thinking about what languages I may want to support in the future. Pittsburgh was voted best cheesesteak over Philly? No, Camden. Warm Peas browsed in from the UK. Give it a second. Got some folks in Texas. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, 10 folks on the website. Now in Brazil? Really? Give it a second. Give it a few seconds here. There's hey, we got somebody in Florida popping in. Look at that. Back out. I'm waiting for the Brazil, right? I need to get some more of our South American friends to tune in. In the evenings, I'll see things pop up in Southeast Asia, Australia. It's great to see that. So if you have tracking turned off in your browser, it won't show your location on the map. But thank you. Appreciate that. Bride219 says hello from sunny Florida. I won't zoom in too far. I don't want to share anybody's location that doesn't want to be shared, but there you go. You can kind of see where some of our friends are watching from. So, neat stuff. Sometimes we'll see folks from the Middle East. I know we've got a number of viewers from Iran that tune in and watch, and some folks from India that tune in and watch as well. So, you got a ton of traffic on your Maui iOS blog post from Asia. That's cool. That's very cool. So, yeah, I'm going to be continuing building and checking out here. Chris Jones also dialing in from the UK. It does take a few seconds for the pins to arrive here because this doesn't refresh. And of course, there's the lag of you watching me coming through. There we go. Now we got some content from the UK coming in. So, thank you. That's right. That's me begging for clicks with a map that shows where you are and that your location is being shared. Anyways, where was I? So now that I've got the wait for stuff, I also wanted to be able to force the location of the Redis cache. I'm going to hold off on that briefly till we get to deploy and then fight with that. But this wait for capability, I don't really need it on the Redis. That isn't as much of an issue, but the Postgres database is. Where is it? There's the Postgres database. So I should be able to say, right, not with annotation. Right, let's go back to David's sample code here. And inside the app host, that's not it. This one. With health check, I need to add. Yep. Come on now. Oh, you know what this is. Try and get it to build and see if it sees it. Build started. Come on. Ready, but it's still building. It's not running. No. What's it doing? There it is, building app host. Okay. Was it installing packages or something? Does not contain with health check. Okay. Hang on. With health check. This iResource Builder Postgres server resource. Did I put it on the database? That's the server. Postgres server resource. Yeah. That should have come through. What's the namespace on this? Aspire hosting. Yeah. Clean that, John. And it's there. Right, dependencies, projects. It sees it. Build it again. Now that we've cleaned it. Right, see, it doesn't know what projects and the other things are. We need to rebuild. No. Okay, is there something else in... I've had this problem referencing class libraries in app host, where I'll add a class library and it just doesn't see it. Microsoft Net SDK 8 enable. It's got a secrets ID, is Aspire host. Nothing crazy in there. No, I'm not missing a directive. You fool! Right, this thing built fine. Yeah. Ordering of the calls? No, because I put it right up... I think I put it right up front. Where'd it go? Here. Right, add Postgres, returns an iResource Builder Progress Server, Postgres server resource. And it's hanging on an iResource Builder Postgres server resource. So... yeah, the bot's wrong. I could just copy this in. And that's on the database. What I really want to hang on the database. Let's do this. I'm just going to copy that part in. Because I can. It doesn't know what a health check annotation is. No, it doesn't see the contents. This doesn't see the contents. This app host of that project. Why doesn't it see the contents? Is there... no, that's regular code. Nothing there. No. So why doesn't it see my stuff? Aspire, app host, reference, class, library. Why doesn't it see my stuff? Well, at some point, I want to dial in SendGrid here. Create a library, new class library. Add Aspire hosting to the class library as a package reference. Right, that's... there's Aspire hosting. Add the class library reference to the app host project. Is Aspire resource equals false? Treats project references as if they're service projects. Um, 16 minutes ago. Thank you, Mr. Fowler. If you're out there watching, appreciate it because this is a fantastic bit of code. MIT. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Absolutely. Please, please, please do not copy somebody's source code unless it is licensed and they have granted you permission to copy their source code. Okay. I suspected he was going to grant a license, and I was taking that step, and I would be more than happy to delete the code if he didn't want us to have access to it. As a friend, I would be happy to reach out to him later. Thank you so much, David. Very much appreciate you taking that step. That's right. The code must be explicitly granted for you to have access to it. Now, on some sites like Stack Overflow, by posting code there, you are granting that license. But code that you find on GitHub, unless there's a license that grants access to it, you can't take it. You can learn from it, but you can't copy it. It must be explicitly with a license declared. Missing license is a legal landmine. Yes. That's why I asked. And quite frankly, there's a nice button in GitHub that you can click and it'll help you choose and add a license into your project. So I really appreciate David helping teach this lesson real quick here as well. Apollo asks, is MIT more permissive than something like GPL? It's not more permissive. What it does is it doesn't grant warranty and it doesn't grant liability. But it does permit commercial use, modification, distribution, and private use. So you are allowed to package and resell. Where something like GPL, if you packaged and sold, all the rest of the code that you packaged needs to be re-released with the GPL. The GPL is a viral license. So the LGPL has some limitations on it, but strictly speaking, if you are building something for a business, for a something that you want to be able to keep closed source, any of the GPL licenses can contaminate and poison. That's a good way to reference it. And force you to release all of your source code. Folks haven't really challenged that yet. It's quite literally a loose thread on a sweater that's waiting for somebody to pull it. And if somebody pulls on that and says, no, I'm allowed to copy and reuse this, if that goes the wrong way, the entire open source ecosystem will fall like a house of cards, like that. So if you're the one who pulls and challenges one of these open source licenses, not only do you have the potential of destroying the ecosystem of freely available software, but you're going to get millions of developers that don't like you. There's a gaming license similar to GPL called ORC that requires release of all your stuff. Yes. The folks at Wizards of the Coast attempted to change the license for the Dungeons and Dragons gaming system to force people to release all their stuff and contribute it back, and take license fees from those folks. That did not happen. Yeah, there are many entitled people who do not want to give back. Anyways, so this is a Spire Project resource. I haven't seen that, but I don't see where it's referenced. But I'm absolutely good. It's in App Host is where. Hang on, go back over here. There it is right there. So that's how you get it to turn off. All right, so here in App Host, where it references App Host extensions. So by turning that off, now I should be able to go back into App Host program. With health check. There it is. Nice. Okay. Next steps. So that gives me health check on that the security database is started. If I continue to follow his example here, so I want to do a wait for and add a with health check onto. Yeah, look at that. The migration service. There it is. So here, so this is. Did I miss a piece that we need? This is for the EXE. This is a background service. That's a project. That's a. Okay, so he just adds the console. I should be able to do wait for DB on that. Right, can I do... Yeah, wait for security DB. Okay. Now, the migration service is after the website. I should return that so that I can do wait for down here. Wait for completion. So I'm going to move this. Right, there's the website. Right, so now in the website, after it adds references to the blobs, there's the security DB. Wait for completion. And I should be able to say DB migration service. And it should order them now properly. Let's see what happens. Let me catch up on chat while that's starting up. Wizards correctly backed off. Oh, yes. Oh, they... Not only did it significantly hurt the Dungeons & Dragons game system business model, it broke Hasbro. It broke them. They lost so much money. There you can see, right, waiting, and the website is now waiting. That finished, and now the website's starting. So now it started in the proper order. Huh? Huh? How about that? How about that? And I've even got my message down here that says first user created, because I still have that code in there that says jettison all users when we're in debug mode. And for this testing and development I'm doing, I'm okay with this. I'll eventually remove that before I publish. But you saw how it started in order.
Now we know.
And knowing is
It
half
is
the battle.
not Cortana. It is not Cortana.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's better. I like. Let me restart that again, because that was just kind of cool to watch. That was very cool to watch. Here we go. Right. Watch. Everything's starting. There's the Redis. There's Postgres. That finished, and now the website starts. So we've got that ripple effect that, and I'm going to let that go through now, that it ensures our database migration runs properly. Our website starts after the database is updated. I could also add make sure the output cache is available also. I don't need to do that because the output cache isn't hit. It doesn't take that long to get up and running. Let me catch up on just a few. Or we go all Star Trek and copyrights die for the benefit of humanity as a whole. I don't think that's happening. Confused with that thread analogy. Are you saying that the GPL will cause more issues for those who want to use it? No, I'm saying, well, first off, the GPL does cause issues for folks that want to package and sell commercially applications and content. So if you, right, there's ways around that. Right? Clearly, that's how folks are able to package and ship Linux systems. But all other software that integrates with it, you must publish the source code for. And right, that integrates with the source code, that is. Systems and content that use the output of that software, of that GPL software, you're okay with. The loose thread pulling and it'll just toss the open source software ecosystem is that if somebody challenges the validity of the open source licenses, if there's nobody has legally challenged them yet and said that this is a valid way to do business, right? That you're allowed to have source code, but you're not allowed to use it in certain ways. That hasn't been ruled on by a court. Once a court rules on it, and if they rule that the license is invalid, that it does not hold up, then all of the licenses will tumble like dominoes. And either all source code that was licensed under them is free and anybody can use them in any way they want, and as creators, we have no rights. Or you have no rights to use any source code that's published at all. Those are the two ways that it could go if they're challenged. We're at this middle ground right now where you can take a look at the source code. You're granted certain rights to work with the source code. But as the creator, I reserve some rights. So, you're already waiting for the next big preview of Aspire? It's not really a preview. It's the RTM. It's Tuesday. Eric says, thanks for the advice on Blazor on Discord. Your Blazo Llama app works with Stream Chatbot. Terrific! Oh, that's great news, Eric. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, great to hear that. Yeah, there you go. Ordering stuff of that has always been a challenge, even with Docker Compose. Yeah. Yeah, the order that things start up can be a little tricky. So, okay. Let me commit that source code, because that was a big change. Yeah, add all the things. Added wait and ordering to Aspire startup. Okay, so that's in my collection to be going there. You want the preview of V2? What you're talking about, Johan, is the Osborne effect. This is really great, but I want the next update. I'm not going to pay or use the current version, because what I really want is the next version. Yeah, the current version could do things for me, but I really want the next version. And then the thing is, you start to see what's coming in the next version. You know what? This is really great. But there's a feature that I just thought of that you don't have in here. And instead of using the stuff that you've added and is going to be released in the next 6 months, I'm going to wait until feature 3 is available. And yeah, I can wait 18 months for that to come out in V3. Well, now that it's here, you know what? That feature doesn't behave the way I want. And you end up never using it. You wish you knew more about licensing? There's a great article on, and I kind of skipped right by it. There's some great articles on GitHub that talk about licensing and how to choose the right license. Okay? And the implications of these different licenses. Right? So there's this from the open source guides about the legal sides of open source. So I will share this link in chat so that you can pick it up. There you go. All right. You're using it already. You're using it already? So all the source code for Aspire is linked from the dashboard. I mean, they are, of course, still building, still committing, working on stuff. Static response compression, that's cool. Assembly metadata. NPG SQL dependencies because of CV. Oh no. Yeah. Next. Stuff hasn't been done for a few weeks in here. That's .NET 9 Preview 3.
Developers.
So. Hey, Rathok, thank you so much for the follow. Rathok or Rathok? Let me know. So, all right, let me go through and start. How much time do I have? I'm just about out of time. I need to put not just the admin menu in there, but I need to have login, log out, and admin if you are an admin. No registration page. I need to start adding those into the mix. Now, my main layout for right now I'm shifting from doing Aspire things to working on just Blazor things and UI things. And fortunately, most of the UI is available, right? So I'm going to route you eventually to the login page, right? Account login. But I need to put into my nav menu. So navbar supported content. I don't need these other ones. Those were examples of how things work there. See, if we're in development, add the admin link. Hey, Shurikan. I believe I have a fix for that. The issue that I'm running into right now is it drops the domain name when it deploys. I think I have that fixed. Quite frankly, the .NET Aspire team they've kind of closed the doors on working with them because they're finishing their preparations for deployment next week. They know they have the issue report. I haven't heard back from them if it's fixed or not, but I do have that bicep code configured. There were some other fixes that went in that corrected the issues that I was having, but there absolutely was an issue, and there is a there is a bug report on it that in app host the Redis publish as connection string breaks right now. It breaks right now. So it's so awesome that I have privileges to directly ask the team about some bugs. You're right, Xbox One, and I don't take that privilege that I have lightly, and I try to extend that privilege to you by showing you preview things and trying them out here. And as we see things that don't feel right or that you have questions about, I do relay those messages. I had about 6 questions that we received on Wednesday's stream. The first stream of the Big Bad Blog educational series over on the .NET YouTube channel, the Visual Studio channel on Twitch. And I took all of those questions, put them into an email, and sent them to the Aspire team, and got a number of answers. There were things that were, yeah, that's something that we need to consider. That looks buggy. And you know what? This isn't something that we're interested in right now. I'll relay those when we come back on next week's, the next episode of that series. I've got about 15 minutes here. Here's what I'm going to do. This drop-down menu, I'm going to add another drop-down menu here for the admin stuffs. Stuffs? Sure. And I think I should put it after the about. Like, I always want videos to be available. Or, no, let's put about after that. Like, about, I feel like, should be the last one. You know? Huge value. The Aspire team is very aspiring. The engineers and program managers that work at Microsoft on the products, they're brilliant folks. Brilliant folks. Much respect to them, and I'm happy to be here to help amplify their message, show what their products are capable of doing, and handling, taking questions, and organizing and bringing them back to the team, and being able to answer those first level, second level support questions for them. I'm happy to do that and extend their reach. So, and I don't take that responsibility lightly, right? Like, it sounds stupid for me to say, but it's true. I'm a bit of a spokesperson. Like, I'm not a spokesmodel. No, I'm a guy with an ugly hat and a bad haircut, wearing glasses and a gray beard, who's helping folks understand more about the tech. I get it. I know where I fit in this mix, and that's okay. So, okay, so the drop-down menu that I'm going to put up here is going to be... Is it a drop-down, or do I just put log in, log out, and admin up here? And my sweet blazer. That's right. It's only a gray beard right now. Well, you can make it other colors if we get that number to 1250 up in the corner there. You, chat room, can make it other colors if we get to 1250. Just help out the kids at St. Jude. If you make a donation, I haven't talked about it since the beginning of the stream. We're raising money for St. Jude. You can use that QR code over there to click through and get to the donation donation website at Tiltify. When you click through, and if you make a donation there, you can use your credit card, you can use PayPal, whatever. If you make a donation to St. Jude, it goes to them directly. Literally, as soon as the money is withdrawn from your credit card, from your PayPal account, whatever, the money goes directly to the hospital. It doesn't come to me. If you subscribe, cheer, or watch advertising on the channel, that comes to me, and at the end of the month, I'm going to make that donation to St. Jude. But if you make a donation through Tiltify, it goes directly to them, and there's a prompt at the end that you can click through that's all set up with your place of work, so that if they have a matching program, you can submit the paperwork right there on Tiltify and get the match immediately. Okay. There's a bunch of milestones and goals out there. There's a bunch of things that you can redeem for small donations, including I have a chicken hat to wear. You're not going to get too much time out of it because I'm about to wrap up stream. But for every donation over $5, I'm going to put your name and a link on my blog as a thank you for donating to St. Jude. You can challenge me to a Connect 4 game. You can have me spin the Wheel of Peeps. Oh, yes, there's a Wheel of Peeps. And I've got several different flavors of Peeps, ranging from the normal to super sweet to a little bit disgusting flavor like hot tamales and Dr. Pepper. But when we hit 1250 total raised up there, I'll color my beard rainbow. We're going to have a Hot One style chicken wing eating and tech discussion stream. I think it's going to be Monday. Talking and eating progressively hotter chicken wings. 10 chicken wings that I'm lining up, ordering from the local Buffalo Wild Wings. Going from very mild barbecue all the way up to, I think the hottest they have right now is called Wild. We had a Carolina Reaper in there last time we did this. Ooh. Ooh. And we'll do that live on stream. Talking tech, talking to you. As I go through the spicy gauntlet. But 1250, color of the beard, rainbow. We have already crossed $1,000. Our friend Carl Franklin is going to join us. It's going to be the week after build. He's going to join us on stream to talk about Blazor. I need to nail down the exact date. If we get that number to 1,500, Richard Campbell will join us, AMA style, talking about all things going on in the tech industry. Richard is a co-host for Windows Weekly that you see on This Week in Tech. He's co-host of .NET Rocks podcast. He'll be here if we get to $1,500 to help raise money for St. Jude. It went to a normal flavor and someone shilled for $2. They did. There are four flavors of Peeps on the wheel. There's normal, super sweet fruit punch, Dr. Pepper, and spicy hot tamale. And the hot tamale one is finely aged, 2 years old, and the marshmallow is a bit firm. They're right here. They're right there. There's the Dr. Pepper ones. Not even opened. I can't even smell it because it's in there. If we get that number to 2,000, that donation total to 2,000, we'll do a a live stream video, depending on how the connection is. Meet the Fritz horses. I've talked about the horses for a long time. I will show you the horses. I'll show you the barn, and you'll get to see a little bit more. Folks love the animals, and I can show you a little behind the scenes of my animals that I own and keep and take care of. $2,000. That's at $2,000. If it gets to $2,500, our friend Scott Hanselman will join us for an AMA style live coding and chat stream. All right. And I've got more in store if we get further beyond that. So, have a good one, Mario. Hello. Yes, him. That guy. You got it. So, and he might join us. But we need to get your donations to help the kids at St. Jude. Every dollar matters. $5, $10, that's okay. Yeah, him. And if you ask nicely, I might be able to find other Scots with vice presidential titles that would join us. We'll see. We'll see how high that goes. I am happy to invite other folks named Scott to join us. We did have the idea of a squirrel flash challenge. I get my camera back this weekend so I can have the other set up and we can do the squirrel costume. Hey, Scott! Him. Okay, let's just finish off the... Do I really want it as a drop-down menu or do I just want 2 more links instead of admin? I think I just want 2 more links and I don't want a drop-down menu. Fine. No. Move the about over, but the admin link in here. Right, so I'm going to change this to... And I don't have HTTP context on this. No. So I need to check to see, are you logged in? And if you're not logged in, activate other features. So I believe I need the cascading parameter for HTTP context right there. Let's bring that back into the nav menu because we're going to write a little bit of code. Oh, no, wait. Wait. Hang on. No, I don't. Because I can do authorize view on this, can't I? Right? Authorize view. Yeah. And let me head to my imports. No. Yes. I typed using. I don't know why it changed it to attribute. Let's move that up so it's kind of with the other things in alphabetical order. Make it easier to find it. There we go. Authorize view. So I've got a couple options inside here. Really? Try that again. Authorize view. Do tell. No. That's kind of what I want, but not quite. So, no. 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 Right. Are there parameters on here I can put? Why the hell? Why is it a... What? There we go. So I'm going to say roles equals admin. Right. If you are authorized, you get the admin link. That worked. Okay. And I think I just want another one here that if you are authorized because you are logged in, I'm not going to go to, no, I think that's okay. All right. And if you are not authorized because you are not logged in, yeah, go log in. Yeah, I think that's right. Format that, John. Save. And I'll go through to the website. Admin. That's not right. Rebuild and apply changes. Let's see what we get here. Mario says, are these double underscore and aspire some kind of standard convention? That the services double underscore is how you pass hierarchical configuration tokens into .NET applications. So whether it's ASP.NET Core, a worker service, you use double underscore to indicate there's a hierarchy to this. So it's services double underscore, connection strings double underscore, Postgres. And you can use that hierarchy to organize your configuration. Okay, so now if we go back over here, it shouldn't say admin. Yeah, there we go. So I've got login, and it doesn't. So if I click login, so I need to fix this so it works with the new layout, with this layout instead of the default ASP.NET stuff. I'm going to delete all of these capabilities so that it says use another service to log in, and there is no login button. It's just here's the other services. And I'm going to remove the register as a new user. I'm going to remove resend email and remove forgot your password. I'm going to remove all of it. Almost this entire side. I'm going to remove and just give you a button. It is on double underscore and not colon or double dash because of cross-plat. The colon to separate tokens in configuration as an environment variable is illegal on Linux and Apple-based systems. Double dash means something else. I forget exactly. There's something with that. But the double underscore works everywhere. Exactly. Yeah, that's right, Mario. So it's kind of like services and then web API, part of those services, and the HTTPS, part of the web API. Yep. It's a bit like a tree view. Mm-hmm. Right, so if I go back in here, and I'll go to the thumbnail service. Right, so if we look at my configuration here, right, my configuration for this, I have logging configuration, and inside of that, I have log level configuration information. There's other things that I could configure about my logging, right? Like, I don't think that's it, but and inside my log level, I have these key values that arrive there. So, I don't want just account. I also want the logout button. Give me a logout button. Give me a logout button, you fool. Thank you. Now I've got a logout button. So if I was logged in, I'd have a logout button. And there's my categories. And if I'm on a smaller screen and I click that, I still have login up there. And then there's the categories child menu right there. That doesn't look entirely great. I should probably do something about that. But yes, that was Copilot. Yep, that was Copilot chiming in there. I don't see it. No matter. So, I do need to run. I am just about out of time here, so let's stop the music, wrap things up, right? And call it for now. I'm going to finish organizing that login. I'll do that offline over the weekend and stuff, and we'll talk about more on Monday. Added menus for login and admin. All right. I'm going to finish this up. I'll get it published. And the things that, like I said, the things that we're learning, we're discovering in here, we're going to boil down. We're going to get down to brass tacks, and we're going to make that part of the Big Bad Blog series. On Wednesdays, we're going to skip next week because of Microsoft Build. But we're going to go through and discuss those. And all of that code is going to be open source and available for you to download and look at and tinker with. All of that's coming. You can find it on my GitHub. GitHub.com /Fritz, and look for Big Bad Blog. Take a look at the first video in the series. I'm very proud of it. Over on the .NET YouTube channel. But that's all for me. I got to call it here and get running. You probably just heard the ring there. Somebody named Scott is having a meeting that I need to get to. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to that's doing something fun. And looking around the horn, oh my gosh. Our friend Layla is streaming. Let's get over there, support, and give her some encouragement as she starts working as a game developer and building her own game. Her and her partner are starting a little game studio. They're building a game, and we want to support her, encourage her, and wish her much success. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back on Monday as we get ready for Microsoft Build. We do more with Aspire, more with ASP.NET, building websites, and having a good time. All right? Say hi to my friend Layla Porter at Layla Codes It, and I will see you next time. Take care. I wish you good health and good coding.